Thank you for joining us here at 6 a.m. and we begin here with a live look from the St. Paul River Center, hours from the opening ceremony for the Medtronic Twin Cities Marathon weekend. Everybody getting all geared up. River Center is ready to go. Runners are ready to go. We are ready to go. Welcome in, everyone. Jason Hackett and Lauren Lemanchek here with you. And usually October is a little bit cooler than what it is right now, but I mean, it could be a lot worse, I guess.
Yeah, a couple years ago, they had to cancel the marathon. Not dealing with that this year, although it certainly will be warmer than the runners like Mace.
Oh, it definitely will be. 70s in the morning, 80s in the afternoon. The difference from 2023 is we won't have the humidity with it. We'll have lower humidity this weekend, but it'll still be plenty warm for a marathon, and it'll be very breezy. Not much of a wind, though, this morning at 66. The breeze is lighter out of the southwest. The humidity's up a little more than yesterday, but not a big deal. It's in the upper 50s on the dew point. Yesterday, that dew point was under 50, which is very dry. Bove 60 is humid. Yeah, we just don't have that, and I don't think we will, other than maybe briefly. It is a little cooler in northern Minnesota, 46 Bemidji, 54 Brainerd, and that's where there's been some fog. Dense fog advisories, parts of Crow and Cass and Aiken County up northward. Otherwise, you can see statewide it is mostly clear. It will be quiet throughout the day today. Other than the heat, we will be in the upper 80s for highs. Cece?
Good morning. Right before I walked up here, I checked the cameras because I saw some slowing in Plymouth on Highway 169. Good morning if you're watching from there. Seen a good amount of slowing just like this time yesterday. Seen a little bit of a traffic incident in that area as you move toward Highway 55 and 394. So if you take 169 coming from New Hope or even the Brooklyn Center area, I would hop on Highway 100 for now until that situation clears. If you're closer to 494, hop on that. But again, that's the one area this morning where I am seeing some slowing. Otherwise, a wider view of the Twin Cities Metro, things look really great today. Over the next hour, we'll be talking about some road work happening this morning on Highway 10. There's also some work in St. Paul and Burnsville happening on Monday that I want to preview for you today. And then, of course, the Twin Cities Marathon is this weekend, so I'll have detours for that too.
All right, very helpful. Thank you, Cece. Well, this morning, the Medtronic Twin Cities Marathon weekend officially kicks off, bringing tens of thousands of people to the streets of Minneapolis and St. Paul.
That's right. Right now, organizers are keeping a close eye on the forecast, though. Audrey Russo is live at the St. Paul River Center with more. Audrey, good morning.
Jason, Lauren, good morning. Yeah, it is truly a feast for the eyes in here. But first and foremost, I'm going to direct your attention to my little chart. And this is the event alert system, what I call the tiers of danger when it comes to the weather. Organizers say that throughout the weekend, we're going to be in the yellow tier. This is less than ideal conditions because of the heat. So just be prepared to slow your pace. Really consider if you have heart disease or heat stress problems, how that might affect you. Then on Sunday during the marathon, as we're hitting hour 4, hour 5, that's when we get into the red extreme caution level. The temperatures could get into the 80s, and that is when you want to think about your hydration. So fortunately, here at the Expo, they've got your hydration covered. We're going to take a look at some of the options that they have for electrolytes. This is really, though, not welcome news to the 30,000 runners who are expected to participate in the races across the entire weekend. There's 9,200 folks doing the marathon, over 11,000 people signed up for the 10-mile. 300 medical volunteers are going to be on hand, fortunately. And most importantly, there's going to be 14 fluid stations across the entire marathon course. So as you get into mile 17, 18, that's when you're going to see more of those hydration stations. They get more concentrated the closer you get to the finish. Now, I want to point this out for all the girlies who know they've got some gluten-free options here as well. So everybody with all kinds of dietary restrictions are covered at the Expo. There's going to be runners from all 50 states participating this year. So really, this is bringing everybody out. I'm told this is the most beautiful urban marathon. That's what the Twin Cities Marathon is called. It may also be the sweatiest urban marathon in the United States, but that's all right. We can deal with the temperature. All the fun kicks off with the Expo here at 11. I've got more on that coming up in about a half hour.
Always a good time out there, Audrey. Thank you.
Yeah, hopefully not too sweaty.
Yes.
But plenty of ways to keep yourself hydrated as well, which is good to see.
And remember, you can stream coverage of the Medtronic Twin Cities Marathon exclusively on KARE 11+. Morgan Wolf and Julia Daniels will be part of the live coverage starting at 6:30 Sunday morning. And new this year, we'll have a second live stream of the finish line. You can find both streams on our website and on our streaming app for your TV, KARE 11+. You can download that and watch it for free.
Time now 6:05. We are live in Washington, D.C. this morning as the Senate prepares to take another vote on a stopgap funding bill that could end the government shutdown before mass layoffs.
Michelle Beck's at the live desk this morning with where the Democrats and the Republicans stand right now.
Well, guys, we are waiting for voting to pick back up today, but it is the same GOP funding bill that's already failed 3 times, and multiple reports suggest Democrats will block it yet again. And that's because Democrats want to negotiate certain changes first. Senator Amy Klobuchar spells it out like this, quote, "This isn't about blame, it's about Americans' health care." Meanwhile, the White House says layoffs during the shutdown will be in the thousands. CNN cites 2 officials who say the mass firings could start today or even this weekend. President Trump previously said his budget director would suggest which, quote, Democrat agencies to cut.
The American people are crystal clear on who shut down the government. Crystal clear. They know it was Donald Trump and Republicans for a wide variety of reasons.
We're going to give my Democrat colleagues another opportunity to reopen the government by passing the clean, nonpartisan funding extension before us.
If today's vote fails, the Senate Majority Leader says there will be another vote Monday on, again, the same funding bill. He also notes that GOP does have the support of 3 Democrats, but guys, that's not quite enough to pass that bill. Lauren.
All right, Michelle, thank you. We are tracking a developing investigation in western Wisconsin. We first told you about yesterday on Sunrise. Police say 1 man is dead and his pregnant sister is fighting for her life after a shooting. It happened in Barron, about 90 miles northeast of the Twin Cities. Family members say 20-year-old Tyler Sadowski was shot and killed trying to save his 17-year-old sister, Michaela. The family says Michaela's boyfriend ambushed them. The alleged shooter is also in the hospital after shooting himself. Their family left grieving.
Tyler was probably the nicest, sweetest person you would ever meet. Always a smile, the stupidest, most contagious laugh. Like, wouldn't have ever hurt a person. So to hear out of everyone that it was Tyler is really hard.
Family members say Michaela's baby had to be delivered 2 months early, but is now stable and receiving treatment at a different hospital. The family has started an online fundraiser to help cover medical bills.
We have new details this morning from the superintendent of the White Bear Lake School District about how a 22-year-old man was able to enroll in the high school as an 18-year-old. In a letter to families, Superintendent Wayne Kasmerchek says Kelvin Lubke enrolled as Kelvin Perry Jr. and stated on district forms that he was a homeless, unaccompanied youth. The letter states that anyone under that designation is allowed immediate enrollment under the federal McKinney-Vento Homeless Assistance Act, even if they can't provide documentation, though Lubke had a birth certificate. He was enrolled in the district for 19 days and participated in 3 football practices, according to Kasmerchek.
From what my boyfriend said that he was always constantly talking about girls in the locker room.
How is it possible for a 22-year-old individual to somehow infiltrate the system and make their way into our high school?
Now, police say they're investigating the 22-year-old for crimes related to fraud, forgery, and unlawful conduct involving interactions with minors. He is currently out of custody.
We have new information this morning on an apparent measles outbreak in Minnesota. In the last week, the state saw 13 new cases of measles, with a cluster of 10 of those coming from Dakota County. All of the people recently diagnosed were not vaccinated, and so far 3 people have been hospitalized. State health officials say the vaccination rate among kindergartners has dropped to 87% this year. That's below the 95% rate that's required for herd immunity. And they say that poses a greater risk for those most vulnerable to the virus.
We don't worry about that virus mutating because it is one of the rare viruses that is pretty stable. But what we do worry about with herd immunity and the reduction in that is the weakest members of our community, and that's infants, because infants are too young to be vaccinated.
Health officials say this jump in measles cases could also threaten older children and adults with cancer. They remind everyone that measles is, quote, entirely preventable with what they call a completely safe MMR vaccine. According to the CDC, measles is extremely contagious and can linger in the air for about 2 hours, even after a person with measles has left the room. It can infect those who enter the room if they're not vaccinated. The National Foundation for Infectious Diseases says about 1 in 5 unvaccinated people in the U.S. who get measles will be hospitalized.
Time now,